There we are, guys. I hope you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. This is Don Diablo taking over the EDM.com Instagram live. This is how it's rolling right now. And if you guys have any questions, ask questions, and then I'll just answer them. This is how easy it is. This is kind of a little bit of a takeover to also celebrate the release of the HEXAGON comic book series. There's a super cool article on EDM.com actually about the comic book. And if you go there, you can actually, exclusively for EDM.com followers, you can download a free digital copy just for today. That's how we roll. I want you guys to check it out. And yeah, again, if you have any questions, I'll start answering them. If you want to know anything about the comic book or about the single that I released today, Inside My Head Voices, and also obviously the new clothing line that I launched yesterday. It's been actually a pretty crazy week. We got a comic book, we got a new clothing line, we got a new single. So bring in the questions, EDM.com. Hope you guys are well out there. And I'm going to see what we have here. Let's see. Here we go. What inspired you to make the comic? Actually, it's a story I came up with a few years ago. It was based on a short film that I wanted to direct. Actually, it was supposed to be 3 music videos that together would shape into a longer sort of a film, or a short film, actually, a longer video, shorter film. And the only thing is that the budget, the things that I had in my head were so crazy that it was impossible to finance. I think you can see it if you look in the book. It's like a sort of an intergalactic battle. So that was one thing. And originally, it kind of just faded for a bit. And then when I lost my father, I kind of just picked the story back up again. And I really wanted to find a way to combine, you know, kind of just all of the ideas I had in my head for all of these crazy music videos, the films, Hexagonia, all the planets. And also I wanted to see, you know, if I could find a way to create a story that would kind of grip your heart between a father and a son. Yeah, for what I personally really love about it is that the main character, the father in the book, actually really looks like my real father. So, yeah, even though my father's not here anymore, yeah, it really makes me feel, yeah, it gives me goosebumps every time I look at it. So it's also a story about a bond between a father and his son, family. And it's about music, it's about defying the odds, it's about being, you know, kind of just rising above yourself, doing things that you think you were never able to do. So yeah, we have some more questions. A lot of questions, actually. Let's see. Boom. Where are you from? Well, officially, I'm from Hexagonia. This is a planet somewhere in the solar system, quite far away from planet Earth. But I grew up in a small town called Koevoorden, which is in the east of the Netherlands. And now I live in Amsterdam, in Holland. Yeah, and I'm quarantined, just like the rest of you guys. So, hope that answers your question, Kader. Oh, and I have to click it away. Boom. Let's see. Da-da-dam. What do we have here? It's an open array of questions. Are you gay? I am not gay. No. I fancy women. Yeah, I guess that's the short answer. Not much else to say about that. Are you gay? Collision music. I'm a big advocate of the whole gay, transsexual, just the whole community in general, and just kind of like advocating that everybody should be free to do whatever they please, they want to do. Yeah, because I think it's important. It doesn't matter who you love, it's not important. So that's why sometimes you see me with a rainbow flag or something like this, because I do advocate for yeah, equal rights quite a lot. So just so you know. Let's see. Here we go. How are you doing today? Fast better. Thank you so much. I'm doing pretty good, actually. Well, this is why I was a little bit later, because I was supposed to go on a little bit before this, but I actually locked myself out today because I was quite. It was a really hectic day. Let's put it that way. We just launched the 24/7 HEXAGON YouTube channel, so we're airing 24/7 all the dopest tracks on HEXAGON. So that was quite a task, and then after that I dropped the new clothing collection, which just launched. I kind of just put a lot of into all of that, and we also built a whole new website, a whole new system about it, around it, a new chatbot and everything. So that was quite intense. And then today I dropped a new single. So yeah, preparing everything around that was quite heavy. And then I'm working on a new single right now in the studio. I have to switch some things up for after some requests. The specific vocalist that I'm working with has asked me. So it's been a pretty hectic day, and then I just wanted to get some food quickly in between, but I took the wrong key. So basically I had to just kind of demolish my door to get in and do this with you guys right now. So otherwise I'm doing well. I'm feeling healthy, as you can see. Sleeping more than when I'm on tour, even though I still sleep only 4 hours, but that's still more than when I'm on tour. Let's see. Oh, I need to click this away first. Sorry about that, guys. Bada bing, bada boom. Actually, let me ask some of the questions here. Do you ever get sad? Of course. I get sad, quite regularly, like most of you guys out there, I would say. But you know what? I try to my goal in life is always to bend anything that's super negative into something super positive. So for instance, when I locked myself out now, I was waiting for the locksmith. But while I was waiting for the locksmith, I was like, I want to do something good in between. So I went out and kind of went to a grocery store and bought I paid for someone else's groceries, and then I left. And I went back to the door, and then the locksmith was there. I don't like waiting around or wasting time. And, the whole thing can kind of fuck my day up. I'm like, fuck, I locked myself out. It's going to cost me 600-700 euros, new door, crazy locksmith stuff. But then at least I made somebody else's day better. So, that's kind of what I try to do when I feel sad. I try to make other people's days better. And then initially, that kind of makes your day better as well. That's kind of the philosophy I try to, try to have in life. So I hope that helps a little bit. I still play your Love on the Brain remix. Yeah, Rihanna. That was a hard remix to do, actually, because it was it wasn't a 4/4 beat. It was 5th, 8th, kind of sort of syncopatic, crazy drum patterns going on in the original. So I'm really happy. I actually had to turn that into some sort of weird trap mix with Don Diablo pianos. But I'm really happy that you guys liked it so much, because it did really blow up. So shout out to Rihanna for believing in that. What else do we have? If you had 3 wishes that you would change your life and fulfill whatever you say, what would they be? Good question. 3 wishes. I would probably wish that I wasn't so critical to myself, so I could kind of be a bit more happy. When I achieve some success, I'm able to enjoy it a little bit more. That's one thing. Second thing is probably this is a really good question. This is a trick question. I guess I would love to learn more languages even. I now speak English, German, and Dutch, and I would love to be able to speak Spanish, but you have to learn it from a young age. Maybe even some Mandarin or Portuguese. I'd love to be able to speak more languages, but I only learned 3 languages, so that's something I definitely won't want to change. Third thing is probably yeah, I think I would have been great if I wouldn't have, when I was a kid, like I ate a lot of sugar. So now I'm kind of addicted to sugar. It's like crack, like I think people are addicted to cigarettes, to drinks, to drugs, but you can also get addicted to sugar. It's like a drug in itself. But my system really needs it, so I need to eat these desserts. I need to eat a shitload of chewing gum. It's always like, the addiction to sugar. And I try to go into sugar rehab, but it's hard. So nowadays, like if you have kids, if you look at my nephews, they don't eat sugar when they grow up and they don't get addicted. So they live a way more healthy life. And sugar causes cancer and all these things. So yeah, I think those would be 3 things I would change. Plus, if I add an extra thing on top, I would probably say I would change my whole mindset from when I started in my career. Because I kind of went around in so many circles making music. Sometimes I worked like on one song for like 4 or 5 months in a row on one song. And I wish I was, as confident as I am right now, just making decisions and not be as like, sort of self-aware and, I guess not confident. Long answer. Yolanda Mercy. How can't you eat candy? No, I mean, you have to eat candy, of course. You have to trust and believe in us. Thank you so much. Let's make a hit together, Alexa Stringer. Let's see. I'm going to ask some questions. Those are good questions, actually. Let's see. What's this? Ass or tits? These are excellent questions. Again, from Collision Music, actually. I'd say personality. Let's see. Which producers are you inspired by? When I grew up, I was really inspired by The Prodigy, Liam Howlett, and there's a guy in Holland, his name is Junkie XL. I really love what he did. He plays like a shitload of instruments, very creative, both electronic rock music, and now he makes like crazy cinematic film music. I went by his studio, just definitely childhood hero. Yeah, I mean, I get, Daft Punk, growing up, listening to the Homework album, obviously that inspired a whole generation of electronic musicians, so, yeah. Stupid Squid. Chemical Brothers, awesome too. Yeah, Fatboy Slim, Groove Armada, Underworld, yeah. Let's see. Hey Don, any mail to send demos? Demo@dondiablo.com. It's as easy as that. Make it good. How did you manage not to give up during hard times? Good question. I think it's really, it's like creating like a human umbrella, because it felt I went through a lot of things where it's like it kept raining in my life. So I think, at some point you just create a human umbrella and you kind of grow a thick skin. And I've been criticized a lot in my life, and I had a lot of disappointments, lost a lot of people, disappointed myself many times, but for some reason I had so many people trying to work against me, so many haters, and they really fueled my whole sort of energy. Like, I wanted to kind of prove to myself that I was worth more than other people thought I was worth. So, what's your number one tip for someone who wants to work in the music industry? Well, right now, find another industry, because I think we're in trouble right now. Honestly, I think right now it's tough. But if you still do want to live in the music industry, maybe work at record labels right now or something like this. To be honest, do internships. That's the way to roll in. Just offer your services for free. Go live with your parents, go live with friends, and then offer your services for free because you have no experience. That's kind of how I did it. I DJ'd a few years basically for free. And then I was able to show how good I was, and then they were like, fuck, you want to come here, you want to come there, you want to do this, you want to do that. And I was like, cool, but you got to pay me now. But that was at a point where they saw that I was, was good at what I did. So I think just kind of like be very humble in the beginning, be able and willing to work for nothing, and then from there on prove what you're worth, and then boom, then you make your move. What about a Dutch song? That would be amazing. Yeah, actually, I have been working on something Dutch, so stay tuned. I miss you too, France. For sure. Well, I love these questions. What would you like remembered about you? I think, I think the only thing that in the end that really matters is that you have, you've mattered to other people, and you've added a positive contribution to their lives. I mean, I don't want to be remembered as the richest guy, as this, maybe not even as the sickest producer. Yeah, maybe I do. No, I'm just kidding. Well, yeah, no, not kidding. No, yes, I am. But no, I want to be remembered as someone, who cared. I want to be remembered as someone who tried to do different things, who tried to go against the system, who was doing things differently than any of his colleagues, who thought out of the box, who inspired people, that were down to fight their way up. I think, that's kind of how I want to be remembered, hopefully. Yeah. Let's see. Punch in a question. Know what I'm saying? What was the inspiration for creating Hexagon comic? Yeah, so I don't know. I wanted originally I'm a documentary making, so I started documentary maker. I studied journalism, and from there on I I don't know. I became sort of a filmmaker, started making music videos, and then I was like, I'm gonna go bigger. So I wanted to create this whole universe, and this kind of originates from the fact that when I was a young kid, I used to be very sick, so the doctors thought I wasn't going to be very old. So yeah, my parents were very worried about me growing up. So I kind of like always, I was fascinated by the future. I wanted to live in the future, and I wanted to create these whole, worlds and characters, so that, if I would die young, then at least, I was a part of the future. And this is kind of where Hexagonia came from, and this is kind of where the comic book is, where it's based on kind of like me growing up as a small kid, and the whole sort of 80s aesthetics, and kind of like being that boy that finds out that he's good at one thing, and then all of a sudden he unlocks a whole sort of worldwide epic battle of the universe, but all this because of his father. And I think for me, I have such a strong bond with my father, that I really wanted to kind of create a fusion between those two stories. So that's kind of where it comes from. What's the best part about living in a church? Well, the best part is... Oh, I'm happy there's not a naked woman standing there randomly. I accidentally switched the camera. Let me switch this. Yes, I'm back. The best part, I guess, is tranquility. It feels really peaceful, and it's unique, I think that's what everything I try to do. I try to bring things in a futuristic way, but I always try to put a bit of heart into it. I think a lot of people were like, Don Diablo, you must live in a future house. I do. The house is very futuristic, but it also has a heart. It has a history. And I think that's just, it's the same thing with the Hexagon comic. It's set in the future, but it's also set in the past. It has those classic elements, those emotional elements that will draw you in, that will draw anyone in who's not into, sci-fi or future. So, yeah. Do I like Morocco? Hell yes. Actually, my best friend is Moroccan, so shout out Abdel. I just love his jokes. Would you like to act in a movie? Yes, I would actually. That was my first dream, kind of become an actor. And then I found out I was just incredibly nervous. I had stage fright. And I did a few auditions for some big films. And I just kind of it was so hard for me to put myself out there and kind of, be judged by people that don't know who I am. So yeah, I think that's why it was hard for me to do that. But of course, I would still love to. Your 2017 show in LA changed my whole perspective about house music. that is the goal that I have, actually. That's the goal. That's what I tried to reach with the whole movement I started. You know, like, you know, if, by the way, if I don't ask you your question, ask it again. Sorry. Um, yeah, the whole thing for me was like to change the game a little bit. Just kind of come up with this new sound that was like appealing to people from outside of the dance music scene, and kind of was, you know, a way to push things forward, to kind of have those classical elements in there, classic house elements combined with some sort of more innovative ideas. So yeah. Zach Abel loved your house. Want to make him come again.